Flemington race 1, benchmark 90, 1800 metres. Going 8, 3, 4 and 2 here. 8 is Impy, extremely promising, gelding. Terrific win first up, given 1200 metres is short of his best trip. Then he held on really well and made a good one in Harbour Dew's work to beat him at Geelong. And he was second up, jumping to 1500. He's handled wet ground well, and the 1800 looks at logical progression, so he's clear top pick. 3, Reserve Street, racing very honestly. He gets to 1800, that's an unknown, but ran into a good one last time in Cuba and covered a bit of ground there. Mr. Moneybags, look, he isn't quickening in his races, but he's finishing off well. Maybe 1800 will suit him, but he does need another win. And 2, Murakeb, some query on wet ground, but ran okay on affected ground 2 runs ago behind Dealmaker, who then matched motors with Cascadian. Group 1 place now, 8, 3, 4, 2. Race 2 is the Darley Maribyrnong Plate for the 2-year-old set weights. To Group 3, it's 1,000 metres. 5, 7, 10 and 6, my numbers. 5 is Castle Coma, who is on debut here for Chris Waller and James McDonald, half-brother to Under the Louvre. Jump-outs have been terrific. In the latest, missed the start, went through and led and held off all but one. It was Arahif who won here on Tuesday. They ran good time. There was a gap back to third. 7, Glenn Fittich did a lot wrong in a trial behind key rival here in Tagaloa. It looked to have a good ability. It looked pretty raw there, really quite keen, but ran well. Then went to Cranbourne and jumped out exceptionally well. So looks a talent. 10, Tagaloa won that trial at Maui after covering ground, and then went to Cranbourne and also jumped out well. So another one who looks talented. And 6, Coupe de Tonnerre has come up a big price, but won a Ballarat jump out by a decent margin and ran good time. 5, 7, 10, 6. Flemington race 3 is the Greys race. It's a benchmark 90. It's 1,400 metres. 10, 1, 2, 3 here. I'm leaning to 10, Bumper Blast. Only had the 2 starts. Hit the line nice on debut. In fact, ran the fastest last 200 of the day and sat on speed at sale, 1,400 and raced away. Actually ran quicker time than a pretty handy benchmark 70 later in the day. 1, Platinum Angel is the class here. Has to give them all 5 kilos, but it was a terrific return behind a good one in Prophet's Thumb and didn't have much luck at a key stage last time, yet was only 4.4 lengths off Tofano, who won again here at Flemington during the carnival. 2, Mr. Tippler, pleasing return behind Chicago Cub, ran on strongly against the pattern, handles the wet well. And 3, Something Silver, can be on speed and certainly racing honestly. 10, 1, 2, 3. Flemington race 4, Fillies and Mares, benchmark 70, 1,700 metres. Going 16, 15, 10 and 2. The filly here, a fair to remember, has a good chance. She's come up a nice price. I liked her maiden win at Geelong. She went to Caulfield in a listed race and she ran on strongly under virtually no riding. She ran under her own steam. She was held up, with a lot of traffic and, as I say, kept finding the line. This race has produced 3-year-old winners in the past and she's proven on wet ground, drawn to swoop. I think she's the overs. 15, Nudge, was good in the Group 2 at the Valley. Arguably should have won it, just didn't get much room at a key stage. Fashino won that race, of course. It just had run well behind Miami Bound, who's the Oaks favourite. So she's a danger, drawn well. 10, Sovereign Award, certainly has a case. This mare was good first up at Bendigo behind See What She Brings. That girl then placed in a Group 3 Tessio in fast time. Forget her miss on Tuesday at Flemington. She had a throat issue there. She's placed to Defane, so I think she can win. And so you swing, racing so honestly. 16, 15, 10 and 2. Flemington race 5 is the Mum Stakes, listed 1,000 metres, 3-year-olds and up, and numbers 1, 11, 2 and 7. 1, Ball of Muscle. The only glitch on his CV this prep was around the Valley, which I don't think he handles. I thought he was terrific in the Scalacci. He was sort of driven mad. He beat all but one. It was Trekking, who then placed in an Everest. He won this race a couple of years ago and he won it easily. 11 is Soothing. Forgive the last run, had the internal bleed. And plus, I don't think she handles Caulfield anyway. Her Morfordville run prior was brilliant. Terrific win there, running some sizzling time / sectionals. She handles wet ground. She'll enjoy the straight. Wish she drew wider, but she can win. Crystal Dreamer, top return off the long break off some terrific trials. Beat Guitra, who goes really well. And then missed the start, race over there. Caulfield behind Miss Leonidas. and it was really a non-pace dominated race. You saw Tactical Advantage emerge from that race to win so well here on Tuesday. And 7, Tavasan. Look, obviously out of his ratings band here, but he's certainly progressing well. He's won 3 races this prep. He beat a handy field in the Apache Cat, including Fine Dane, who's here. That horse came out and won. 1, 11, 2, and 7. Race 6, a benchmark 80. It's the Melbourne Cup Carnival Country Final, 1,600 metres. Going 1, 4, 3, and 11 here. 1 is Harbour Views. He won't be any flash odds, but he's unbeaten, and his last win was exceptional. He was never on the track. It was a much better day to be on speed near in the inside, yet he still beat them all. His first up run was excellent as well. He was back and wide in a slowly run race and still beat them. Jaws won today, so we'll certainly know the track pattern by now. And he's got to carry a big weight, but he's hard to go against. Torto was terrific behind him, really flashed home pretty much against the pattern of the day. And a 1.5 kilo swing helps. He's been 2 lengths third to the Inevitable in a Group 3, so I think he is a danger and a better price. Star Missile, good horse, top return win at Sale. His wet track misses have been a little inconclusive, and he does draw wide, but he's well and truly good enough. And 11, Blinder, sound effort last time, also draws wide. 1, 4, 3, 11. Flemington Quadrella on Oaks Day races 6, 7, 8, 9. The first leg's the benchmark 80. Harbour Views will be the favourite, the 1. I'm going to take Torto though as well in the quaddie. So just 1 and 4 in that first leg, bringing hopefully the right form. Race 7 is our second leg, the TV Stakes 1800. 1 Quick Thinker looks hard to beat on the Castelvecchio form line. Pancho brings the Kubrick form, which can be tied in with the elite 3-year-olds. And 10 Russian Camelot, highly promising. So 1, 3, and 10, that second leg. In the Oaks, of course, the Group 1 feature. Going to take 2 and 1 here. 2 is Moonlight Maid, who was very good with Soul Patch, gap to third, and beat Miami Bound prior to that. And Miami Bound, of course, won the key lead-up race to Wakeful on soft ground last week. So I think one of the 2 will win. We'll just take those 2 in the third leg, numbers 1 and 2. And coming home, we're going 1 out. California Zimbal, the 2, our best for the day. Beat Loving Gabby last time, ran some slick sectionals, and has jumped out well up the straight. So might be her race. So just the 2 home. Very skiddy quaddie today. Good luck, punters. Flemington race 7, the TCL TV Stakes listed 1800 for 3-year-olds. 1, 3, 10, and 4. Quick Thinker for me, good effort in the Gloaming Stakes, held on well there. Shadow Hero was a brilliant winner and won by a decisive margin. This horse wasn't far off Subadar, who ran so well in the Caulfield Guineas. Went to the Spring Champion Stakes, this guy, and he battled on really well behind Shadow Hero, and now the Cox Plate placed Castelvecchio. I think wet ground's a big plus here, and I've got him on top from Pancho, who is a danger. Good win, Warwick Farm beat Romany Girl, who came out and won, and then made Kubrick work to beat him in a $1 million Bondi Stakes. There was a gap back to the rest of them there, and Kubrick had just run well behind the likes of Bivouac, Yes, and Exceedance, so it's outstanding form. 10, Russian Camelot, looks an exciting prospect. That maiden win at Ballarat, sustaining a long run, was excellent. Has a nice future. And 4, Oscar Boy, hit the front, looked home, run down by Sirius Liaison, who had to run some of the best sectionals all day to run him down. And he was luckless behind Vegas Jewel prior to that, so some certainly solid form lines there. 1, 3, 10, 4. Flemington race 8, the Kennedy Oaks, 2,500 metres. It's Group 1, of course, 3-year-old fillies, set weights. Going 2, 1, 4, and 6. 2 is Moonlight Maid, who came wide and tried to match motors with Soul Patch, who Derby placed in the vase. She didn't match his finish the last 100 metres or so, but she beat everything else easily. She was a big winner here in the Manifold Prior, beating a couple of key rivals, including the favourite Miami Bound and Fascino, who both came out and won. I think she'll eat the trip, narrowly on top. Miami Bound brings the right profile, comes through the Wakeful, was a good strong winner, beat Vegas Jewel, Daylight back to third, handled wet ground that day. She'll stay all day on her breeding out of Arapaho Miss. And 4, Vegas Jewel, obviously was very good behind her in the Wakeful, again, referencing that gap back to third. Thought she was a better run than Gamay prior to that, and she's still on the upward spiral. And 6, Silent Sovereign, got lost in that Wakeful, a long way back, made good ground. It was a much better day to be nearer the speed, so she might be the best blowout. 2, 1, 4, 6. Flemington race 9's Network 10 Red Roses Stakes Group 3, 1100. 2, 4, 3, and 10 for me. California Zimbal's been 2 starts his prep for 2 exceptional wins, one on wet, one on dry. In the latest, he raced away from a filly called Loving Gabby, who went to a Group 1 Manicato on 1, beating the older horses. She's jumped out well up the straight and keen on her. Absolute Flirt also jumped out well here recently with Exceedance. The Champagne Stakes missed last time. It was probably inconclusive. The previous form was terrific. I think arguably should have won the Captain Teebs, and then very good in the Quizette behind Accelerates, who's obviously very smart. So she's a danger. Tara Heath, Patton was on side at Flemington, but held off Hawker Hurricane, who since run well. I thought her effort at the Valley prior to that in the worst part of the track when working on speed behind Accelerates was excellent. Outside of those, I think the 10, Nicovi, who got a long way back, came wide and really attacked the line. Section was terrific at the Valley and the Crockett behind Broadway and 4th, who wasn't disgraced at all in a hot Group 1 Coolmore. Good race, 2, 4, 3 and 10.